days is an endurance athlete. How many of you change your Facebook status to "I'm exhausted after climbing 7 floors in office"? How many of you do that? I had a tiring day, I had an exhausting day. It is so exhausting, Chennai is so hot.
I want to mention I had an exhausting temple run year 2014.
Temple run year 2014. Well, imagine doing a triathlon. That's about 4 kilometers of swimming and 80 kilometers of cycling and another 42.4 kilometers of running. All at one stretch. You don't get to take breaks in between. Yes, probably change from one costume to another. That is the amount of strain that you have to put yourself through to become a triathlete. Now, go one step further. Imagine running 100 kilometers. That's the distance of an ultra marathon. Now, I'm not sure how many of you have such, monumental ambitions, but even if you are planning to run a 21-kilometer half marathon in the upcoming Bangalore run organized by PCS, I think this talk that's going to come up is going to be of great help to you. A little background about Sunil Menon. He's a triathlete, an ultra-marathoner, a cyclist, a motivational speaker, the former chief organizer of Hyderabad Cycling Club, a senior member of the Hyderabad Runners Club, organizer of club runs, and the main man behind bringing brevet rides, cycling rides to India. Now, Sunil holds the distinction of being the first man from Hyderabad to complete the Ironman event at Ironman event at South Africa. He qualified for the Boston Marathon and the San Francisco Marathon. Now, he was a race director for Airtel Hyderabad Marathon in 2011 and 12. And as an organizer of Hyderabad Cycling Club, he was instrumental in bringing brevet rides to India. Please put your hands together for the greatest.
I had to get that common word right.
I was looking for you to make an entrance from there.
Here's the word.
Good afternoon, everybody. After a thought-provoking message or presentation by Arun, I think, and I'm confused because I'm going to talk something that's exactly opposite, or near the opposite to what Arun was saying. Imagine we are all endurance athletes, right? Or we all consider ourselves to be endurance athletes. If you have to live for 300 years, if I say you have to go and perform like 300 years, do you think we can live 300 years? Not at least after hearing Arun's presentation though. I had to change this. I had to think, what do I say now? Because I started with the presentation that we have to live 300 years. But after Arun's presentation, I think 65 years is good enough. Not 300. Okay, so I'm going to talk about endurance and what it takes to be there, and why are we as humans, are we fit for be doing anything closely related to endurance, or are we actually doing, or are we overdoing this thing? Okay, so let's go with the next slide here. It's ready, steady, go. Little Chennai touch. Wanted to do that. So I'm going to touch on these topics. I'm going to talk about endurance. What is endurance? Start line. How do we get there? Training, and of course nutrition. But like what Arun said, and what I felt from his presentation, if you see, he's obsessed, right? He's obsessed about environment. Similarly, if you are obsessed with something, you'll excel in it. You need that obsession. Until unless you don't have that obsession, you can never excel. You can never do what you want to do. You have to bring that passion out. And that's what everything is all about. The whole life is all about obsession. Being obsessed with something. being obsessed about the environment, being obsessed of being fit. I live every second of my life, every millisecond of my life, researching about endurance, trying to see how we as a human can excel and go there, take that step beyond. And I've read a lot of articles, a lot of books, magazines, followed Ironman training by professionals, and I feel I have come to a conclusion that if you are obsessed, you can really achieve anything in life. And I believe, at 100 years of age, I should be able to do an Ironman. That's my belief. I should not be injured. I should be fit enough to stand in this room, maybe Polamaa 106, right here, and say, 100 years back, when I was little younger, I had given this presentation. So let's see how we go there. But before, we need to ask the question, what's endurance all about? So if you see the Wikipedia, this is the Wikipedia definition of endurance. Endurance is the ability of an organism to exert itself and remain active for a long period, and has its ability to resist, withstand, recover from an immunity to trauma, wounds or fatigue. So this is what endurance is all about. There you take your body to a test level or stress level, and your body is able to sustain it for a period of time and come out successfully and recover from it. Now that is very interesting. So if you see, there are two pictures. One is of a horse and one is of a great marathoner. So if these two organisms, if I would like to call, go to race, who do you think will win a marathon?
Marathon. Depends on the distance and on the distance.
The marathon, 42 kilometers.
It's a marathon.
Marathon.
Why do you think?
He
Focus.
sweats. The scientific reason is he sweats, and the animals probably they don't have the ability to sweat, so they cannot go for a longer distance and they tire out. They have to release the stress through their mouth. That's what I mean.
Valid question, valid answer, sorry. Any other, so who do you think? Everybody says man is going to win? Who says horse is going to win? Oh, we got intelligent crowd here.
No, man will win because he's measured with horsepower. So number one horsepower.
Good answer.
I would say that man knows back and go, but horse does not.
Okay, I mean, he's partially right, because there'll be a man riding on the horse, so to guide him. So the answer is yes, the man is going to win. And why is that? So let's go to the next slide. So this takes us to the next question, are we built for endurance? Unlike animals, like horses can run at 70 to 80 kilometers an hour for a shorter distance, but humans can't. But what makes us different from animals? Okay, what are the traits that tell us that yes, we are built for endurance? We can go that distance. We can actually travel faster than any animal on planet on any given day. We are built for endurance. So the reasons, like pointed out, ability to sweat. That's a very nice answer. The next one is your butt. Your butt is one of the muscles that enable you to run. It's one of the strongest muscles, one of the strongest muscles that we have. We have short toes that helps us balance and push forward. We've got slow twitch muscles and faster twitch muscles. So we've got these both muscle types that enable us to run longer distances and to do some kind of sprints. And most important, we store about 20 miles worth glycogen in our muscles. So our body is built for distance. There's nothing that can stop us from doing long distance endurance. Yes, of course, we've got little body hair. Spring-like ligaments, tendons on our feet. So this lets us bounce forward. The narrow waist and midsection, so it helps us keep our balance. We don't fall. Okay, we're able to balance on our 2 feet and go ahead. So with this, why do we think where do we lack now? If we are built for endurance, why aren't all of us into Ironman or into some kind of an endurance event? Why can't everybody run 100 kilometers? The question, or the answer to this question, is not only our mind, but also our lifestyle. Okay? When we were at the Stone Age, we used to hunt for food, right? The way we used to hunt was we used to run miles and miles behind these animals, tire them out until they're exhausted, and we used to hunt them down. We are perfect predators. Over the period of time, technology is coming, lifestyles have changed. We've gone from really good natural food to junk food, KFC, chips, and that has taken a toll in our body. Like Arun said, he's cleaning the lake. I would say we will clean our body. Right? Our body has a lot of toxins. Our body has a lot of waste within ourselves. We have to clean our body if we have to make it back and take it to the next level of endurance. And that's why I said if we are able to clean our body, if we are able to rebuild our organisms, or whatever things we are going through, and be successful. So when I said why everybody can't run 100K, that's because of our lifestyle. And that's the next slide that I'm going to talk about. We've heard of runners dying of heart attacks recently. We've heard about a lot. I keep reading every week. Somebody ran a Mumbai marathon, and after a week he got a heart attack. He's dead. National basketball player had a heart attack. So one thing that we need to do before we even start is to understand our body. Test our body. I wanted to donate blood today, and they checked my hemoglobin level and said, no, your hemoglobin level is less than 12.5, which I was surprised with, and I can't donate blood. So the basic guideline, if you want to start off with anything, is to see what is the pollution level in your body, right? Start with a blood test. Of course, I've written out everything that's very important. You need to find out what is your fasting blood sugar level, what is your vitamin D profile, what is your comprehensive metabolic profile. Then check your ECG. You have to do a 2D echo test if you are above 40. A skin test, a digital X-ray test, a liver function test. So make sure that before you start, for anything and everything, your health is the most important thing. Don't copy others. Every body is different. Every body's type is different. Maybe you can excel better than them, but make sure that you do this test first. Make sure you're in your safe zone when you're wanting to train yourself for any endurance event. If you're able to do that, you've successfully done your first step. Okay? Your life is only once. You live only once. Okay? You don't get a second chance. And that second chance, you might not get. If you have a heart attack, it's gone. Don't overexert yourself in a way where you can't, there's no point of return back. So make sure that you take care of your body. I always say everybody one thing, use your body, don't abuse it. Okay? And there's a very thin line. You need to make sure that you don't abuse your body and make sure that you use it. The next slide. And that's why I come to the next point here. You always have to set goals for yourself. At the start of the year, think about all the things you want to do. And all the things that are very personal to you, that are very professional, sports, and don't leave out your family. Because that's your strength. Okay? The family is where your strength lies. Family is your stress buster. If you are able to take care of your family, don't leave when you're setting your goals, make sure your family is very much there in that. Your personal goals can be anything like being honest to oneself, no TV policy, This is something which I have said and I have published in Facebook. I think many people who are on Facebook must have read these things. And what do you want to achieve in your sports activity? A sub 3 marathon. What in a professional life? What do you want to achieve in your family life? Plan a vacation. Okay. So what I want to say is that set goals for yourself. That's your next step. Okay. You've done your blood test. You sit and say, okay, now I want to do one event, maybe the Chennai Trial Marathon, or I want to do AHM, or I want to do Ladakh. Plan it out. Okay, train for that. Don't just jump in the next day and say, I want to do Chennai Trial Marathon 100K. Your body will do it, but it has got a long-term side effect to it. Okay, if you just jump from half marathon to 100 kilometer, your body is going to do it, definitely. I'm not saying, I don't want to discourage people, but there is a side effect to it. We need to take it step by step. Build your endurance. Endurance is a bank balance. It grows with time. If you see all the Ironman winners, okay, they start at 23, 24, and they start winning when they are 37, 38. So it takes them 10 years, 15 years to build that body, to build that endurance. That's the time when they peak. They call it a peak period. So for 3-4 years, they're unbeatable. They're like beasts. And how do they become beasts? They train. They train consistently over a period of time. They give themselves time. 10 years. If you see, most of the people have taken 10 years to even come first at an Ironman. So give yourself time. Now these are the 3 steps, the next 3 steps that you need to do after you have your goals and set. Identify events. Now there are so many events that's happening all throughout India and abroad also, right? We are overwhelmed with it. We've got the Chennai Trail Marathon, we've got the Bangalore Marathon coming, we've got the Oroville Marathon, we've got Hyderabad Marathon, we've got Delhi up, and then we've got Hyderabad Triathlon, we've got the Chennai Triathlon. I mean, there are lots of events, and you can't keep training for all these events, right? Somewhere your body will be exhausted. So what you do is, you grade your events. You say, okay, for me this year, Chennai Trail Marathon is the A race for me, which means I am going to concentrate all my activity, all my energy, all my training for this trial marathon. That does not mean you don't participate in any other marathons. So for other marathons, you can say they are B, which means that, okay, I want to do well, but it's okay, I'm just going to take it. It's not my goal race. The C is, I enjoy doing it, I'll be just taking it very leisurely, no goal setting, nothing. So what happens is, you're not stressed out. Okay? Don't go behind PBs for every race. You cannot, don't set PBs for every race. Okay, I've done Chennai Trail Marathon in 3:20, now the next AHM, I want to do it in 3:15, and keep going with that. Okay? Don't push your body to that extent. Define your goal events, A, B, C. The next one, and which is very important, is finding your form. And I think that's one of the main reasons for what I call this injury. The number one problem that I've seen in everybody, including myself, is the breathing technique. Okay? We all breathe through our mouth whenever we run, right? Or we cycle. That's very bad. Like Arun said, the whole environment is polluted. Okay? Your nose is made to filter at least some of this pollution. If you start breathing from your mouth, you're directly taking this pollution to your lungs. Okay? It's very bad for health. The best way to run, to cycle, is to breathe through your nose. Nasal breathing is the most important thing. Practice it. I've got a very good article for people who are interested. Yes.
Capacity does not get reduced in your center. capacity to do?
Yes, so I'll come to that. I'll tell you why. So when you do nasal breathing, okay, Peter had a very valid question. Doesn't your capacity reduce? Actually, no. Because what happens when you do nasal breathing, okay, you actually use your belly for breathing, okay. So you're pushing your belly. So this is what's happening actually. You actually learn to do belly breathing. If you do yoga, if you've done Kapalbhati, if you've done pranayama, you know, it uses most of your belly for your breathing, you know, and you breathe through your nose, your Surya, Chandra Ved that you do. So that is belly breathing. Okay, at certain, of course, like Peter said, if you want to go a sprint, 100-meter sprint, definitely you can't breathe through your nose. You'll have to breathe through your mouth. But that's a shorter distance. When I talk about endurance, okay, breathing through your nose has this ability to filter the air, number one. It's very healthy for you, long term. As an endurance athlete, always remember, your health is the most important thing. The next, everything comes later. Whether you finish the race, you don't finish the race, whether anything happens, doesn't matter. That's the least thing. Your health is the most important thing. And breathing is one of the first steps to make yourself healthy and in a longer term. That's why I said I want to race till I'm 100. If I have to race till I'm 100, I have to take very good care of my body. I cannot afford to just exploit it, right? Someday or the other day it's going to hit me back. Okay? The first thing is nasal breathing. Okay? We learn to breathe through your nose. I've got very good articles, I can share it across to the group on why nasal breathing is there. New thing also that I've read about in Training Peaks, which I'm subscribed to, is that nasal breathing also affects your dental. It makes your mouth dry. There's a lot of bacteria that enters and it dries your mouth. So that's another problem that mouth breathing does to us. So get your breathing technique right. Next is swim. If your swim is perfect, your hand entry, your push, your pull, your recovery, you're using the right muscles basically. So when you're in triathlon, basically we don't use our shoulders, we use our back muscles, right? So make use of our back muscles. So make sure that you use the right muscles for the right activity. Similar to biking. Your bike fit is the most important part. Your cadence is very important. And the next thing is how you cycle. Many people push. You should always be pulling. You should pull as if there's something under your feet and you're dragging it up. There's dirt on your feet and you're dragging it up. This is a more better style of cycling. So make sure that your cycling form is right. You should never get a knee injury, you should never get any other injuries. So that's very important. Injury is something that takes you back. Running form is also one thing which is very important. I always prescribe to people, check chi running. It's one of the best forms of running. You can run miles and miles and miles together without getting any injury. Okay. I've been training for endurance the last 3-4 years. Very well with people who have got injury also. So I'll be sharing a few tips on that. The next, once you get your form right, you've done everything, the next step is to create a plan. Without a training plan, you can never be successful. Everything needs to be broken down into smaller pieces. As small pieces as possible. Right? The moment you're able to do that, you got it right. So make sure that you have a training plan with you. Join a running group, who's training for a specific event. You can get in touch with many people, you can get in touch with me, I can give you some workouts that you can do. And make sure that you train with a realistic pace and nutrition. And that's very important. I always tell people, your body is a biomechanical machine. Your body is a biomechanical machine and nutrition is its fuel. If you don't fuel your body properly, it's not going to perform. Okay? So that's very important. Next.
Sorry to disturb. Logan, 6522 car is blocking the way.
Thanks for the break.
Endurance.
Yes. I'm getting dehydrated. So basically exercise is divided into two parts. Okay, very simple. Now I'm not going to talk rocket science here. I'm going to keep it very simple and straightforward. All exercises that you do, everything that you do is only divided into two parts. Aerobic and anaerobic. There's nothing beyond that. Okay? Aerobic will increase your endurance and anaerobic improves your strength. And you combine them together to increase both your strength and endurance. So both are important. It's not that only one is important. And when you do each other, that is also very important. So that's the next slide that I'm going to do. But what does aerobic mean? When you say that you're doing an aerobic exercise, it means that your oxygen is sufficient, which means you're able to breathe in normally, everything is fine, you're not exerting yourself, that's there. Your heart rate is in normal 140s, 150s, that's the normal range, so that means your heart is doing well. You've got metabolic efficiency. What is metabolic efficiency? Metabolic efficiency means you're burning fat instead of glycogen for fuel, which means that you can go longer and longer and longer. Okay, so using your fat that's there in your body for as a fuel for running. So that's your aerobic zone. And of course you use your slow twitch muscles more than your fast twitch muscles. So that's when you're doing an aerobic exercise. An anaerobic exercise, which is in high intensity, you're lacking in oxygen, which means that you're doing a 100-meter sprint or a time trial. Okay, in the time trial, the last few kilometers, when you're just running at the high pace, your legs are gone, your lactic threshold has increased, that's anaerobic. And that's high intensity exercise, which can't last for a few minutes or seconds. Okay? It cannot last for a few seconds or minutes. That's anaerobic exercise. That's where you go to for it means you're using practically every muscle in your body for your this energy. You're using glycogen and you're using your fast twitch muscles. This is the simplest form. Okay? The next slide, please. So, yeah.
So aerobic is the one which burns fat, the slow intensity.
Exactly.
Okay, and this burns glycogen.
Exactly.
Sunil, like
I have a question and answer.
okay, yeah. At the end.
It's nice to see folks who are already met. Sanjeev, you can see you. I feel very like a family here. Okay. The periodization. So professionals, they use this term periodization very much, you know. So what does periodization mean? So when they're training for an A race, okay, they break their workouts into specific chunks of weeks. Say, so 4 weeks they're going to do certain thing, 7 weeks they're going to do this, and when it comes to the race they're going to do certain. What they've done is they've broken their workouts into parts, and that's called as periodization. Now I will tell you some of the periodization things that are basically very common across. If you see, the first is the base period, and this is what we should all be doing. Okay, we should be training maximum to our base, which means if you see here 8 to 12 weeks, these professionals, they work on their form, irrespective of how great they are, how great swimmer they are, how great cyclists they are. They work on form. They do single leg training, they do the drills, swimming drills, one-arm drills, they do all those drills. Even if they're perfect swimmers, they work on their form because they know that form goes for a toss, everything goes. They have this base period where they're working on their form, they're mostly in the aerobic zone, they're burning fat for fuel, okay? They're not doing any high intensity workouts, okay? They're just going it easy, step by step. They're doing strength training and a little bit of flexibility. So your base is just like the foundation of the building. If it is strong, you are now set for the next step. The next step is the build phase, which lasts for around 4 to 12 weeks. And then you start doing slightly intense workouts. You increase your intensity, you increase the duration of your endurance workouts, and you also do performance tests. Everything you do has to be measurable, which means that every month you should do a 5-mile test. Okay, you should do a aerobic test. You should do a time trial test to see whether you're progressing. If you don't see progress, that means you're doing something wrong. You need to stop there and think back and say, you know, what's happening. Which means that today, let's say March 1st, you did a 5K run, full sprint. Okay, you did it in say 20 minutes. The next month, if you've taken 22 or 25 minutes for the same run, means you're not progressing, right? So you need to make sure what's happening. Why are you not progressing? So always measure your plan. Make sure that you are training and you're improving with each. Make sure every month you have a time trial or you have a run test that you do to make sure that to see how you're performing in your plan. If you're able to do that, that means you're going there, and that happens in the build phase. The next is the peak phase. We're actually peaking for the event. You do as many races that are there in the country or outside. You do intensity workouts. That's where your high intensity. You go to more aerobic zones, and you build your speed and endurance in your peak time. And it lasts basically 2 to 6 weeks. The next one is the race week. Now the race week, that is nearly 8 weeks just before the race. That's when you race frequently, you simulate race, you do everything at race pace, and make sure that you taper well. So 2 weeks or 1.5 weeks, whichever suits you all, you start tapering, which means you go low on intensity, you do a little bit more of intensity, but you go low on the hours of duration that you do on runs or the cycles, and you taper that. Now, after your race, after you finish your race, it's very, very important that you give your body time to recover. Which means that you take time off. Okay? Go to some location, go to Goa, go to wherever you want. Okay? Relax. That does not mean you eat and drink. Okay? You can drink for 1 day. You have burger and pizza, but okay, the next day you last for 2 to 4 weeks, so make sure that you use it well. You give your body rest, recover well physically, mentally, go out for vacation with your family, enjoy the moment. What's the reason? The reason is you need to break your workouts, and I'll give you some sample workouts here. If you see the swim, it's a 45-minute swim, but I've broken it up into a warm-up, a main set, and a cool down. Okay? So in your warm-up, you do a warm-up, make sure that you do a warm-up, very easy, 400, 100 times. Make sure that your main set is really, if you see 70 to 75% of your effort, and then you slowly increase it to 84 to 85, and then again once you finish with your workouts, you do a cool down. Warm-up and cool down is the most important aspect in your training, and it's one of the reasons where people get injured is because they don't do a warm-up and they don't do a cool down. They just keep on running, they just keep on cycling, they just get up and they do. That does not help. So breaking your workouts. How does a typical bike, if you're doing a 1 hour 30-minute bike ride, how does it break up? You do a gentle spin for 15 minutes. Spin on your lowest gear. That's warming up your body. Okay? Then you do a main set. Okay, you say 6.2 miles or 10 kilometers, I'll go at 75% of my effort. And I'll do some hard efforts, say 5 kilometers, I'll just really go full sprint. And then I'll do a rest for 2 minutes after each. And then maybe I'll do another set of 5 kilometers. So what happens is, you're training your body between those zones. Okay? You're giving that fluctuation. And then you do a cool down. This is a proper workout. All your workouts, every hour that you do, make sure that you count on that. Break it down into smaller pieces, smaller chunks. Make sure you have a warm-up, you have a main set, and you have a cool down. That's the way to improve. A typical run. Again, if you see, there's a warm-up, there's a main set, okay, and then there's a cool down. The next. So Sunday long runs, basically people do Sunday long runs, 1 hour, 35 minutes, if you see 30 minutes at 75, and the rest 20 minutes at 80%, and then you cool down. It's very important. What do you see common in all these things? Can you tell me? Okay, warm up and cool down. Other than that? Okay, other than that? Heart rate? Okay, heart rate.
Effort is in percentage.
Okay, next.
Keep varying it. There is no constant breaking up.
Good, next.
Breaking.
No 100%.
No. So there's one thing that you see here. I've not talked about distance. Nowhere I've said I'm going to do a 20k run. Nowhere I've said I'm doing a 30k bike ride. Nowhere I've said I'm going to do a 2,500 meter swim. Workouts should be duration specific, not distance specific. And that's where many people go wrong. That's where I have failed. Okay, I failed to do an Ironman in Zurich because I trained for distance, not for duration. And why is duration more important than distance? Joe Fry's blog tells it very perfectly, very nicely. Suppose you train for a flat course, 90k flat course, that you're going to complete in 3 hours. You go to the race. Now, unexpectedly there are heavy winds, headwinds that you get. So your bike, instead of completing in 3 hours, you take additional 1 hour. But you're doing it at the same intensity. What happens is, your run goes for a toss because your body has trained for your 3 hours of bike. It's not trained you for 4 hours of bike. Your run goes for a toss, and that's where everything starts to crack. Okay? So basically, most of the times, train for duration, never train for distance. If you are aiming for a 4-hour marathon, train for a 4-hour duration. If you think you're going to do it 4 hour 30, train for 4 hour 30. Don't train for kilometers. So if you do a 32 in 3 hours, make sure you walk the half an hour. If you're not running, it's okay. The duration is important. Getting your body adapted to that duration, that time is very important than distance. So people always say use heart rate monitors and stuff. There's Phil Maffetone who talks about maximum airway function and other stuff. I've used heart rate monitors. They are devices that sometimes work, sometimes don't work. I prefer using something called as rate of perceived exertion, which is called as RPE, which is very simple to measure. Okay, since I'm talking to you in a very easily manner, I'm not tired and all. I'm basically in maybe 1 or 2 my scale, if I have to scale. If I start jogging and sprinting on the cliff and I'm gasping, maybe I'm around 4 or 5. Okay. So rate of perceived exertion is something that I specifically use instead of heart rate monitors, and that's helped me a lot in my training. Okay. But it's sorry.
Hyundai i10 1390 is again blocking the way. Can you only please step up?
The first one is you should increase your training load. You're just spiking up your training. That's not going to help you. Work on your form. Very important. Work on your form. Make sure you're breathing right. You're cycling properly. You're running properly. Identify what is good versus bad pain. Pain is very good. Some pains, without pain there's no gain. Okay, right? But make sure you identify what is good pain and what is bad pain. You should be able to do that. Last important thing is warm up properly. Make sure you warm up before you exercise. It's very important. How do you treat your injury? Of course, there's a very well-known term called RICE. And of course, I would always recommend physiotherapy because physiotherapy really gets you back into action. Now, this another problem which I feel is very injurious is something which is called as static stretching. Okay, and always recommend when you do a warm-up, it should be a dynamic stretch. Okay, so do you understand what is static stretching? If I'm staying at this position for some time, this is static stretching. Okay, and if I have to do the same thing dynamically, I just do a quick just stretching my body, right? You have to make sure that you do dynamic stretching. Don't do static stretching. Static stretching before a run is one of the 30% people who are getting injured because they do static stretching before the run. When you stretch your body, it actually is harming the muscles. It's not making them warm up. The best way to warm up your body before the run is to do a dynamic stretch. Okay? Make sure you stretch your body dynamically, which means you jog at a place, you do those movements, make sure you activate your muscles. Don't stretch your muscles in a way where it's going to get trauma. Okay? So this is one of the major reasons. Yeah.
Quadriceps cramps for me the maximum. So how do you think I can do a dynamic quadriceps stretch or something?
There are a lot of this butt kicks.
Okay.
People do butt kicks for hamstrings.
Okay.
There are various. I actually have in the PPT, I think, which Peter will share with you later on. I've given a video with YouTube links to dynamic stretching, what you need to do before the run. I put everything, all the content I put in the PPT, because I think this is the most important part. Make sure you get this. That has got a YouTube link, okay, from a very professional person. That tells you what is the difference between dynamic stretching and static stretching, and what you need to do, how you need to stretch your muscles.
How about static stretching post-run? After the run, maybe
post-run, usually what you should do is, it's okay to do a little bit of static stretching, but I would prefer doing a walk.
Because I do dynamic before run, then cool down and then static stretching.
Yeah, static stretching is good after the run, but before the run it's not good.
Before the run I don't do that.
Yeah, but I don't do even after the run dynamic stretching. I always do the dynamic stretching even after the run. And I always walk after the run, just walk around, don't just sit and there's just...
Why is that so? Why is dynamic stretching preferred over static stretching?
See, because when you stretch, your muscles are being pulled, right? It's again, you're putting stress, it's like your muscles like an elastic rubber band. You get it? When you stretch your rubber band, it causes trauma to it. Since you're not doing any good by actually doing that. So before the run, it's very harmful. And when you're doing dynamic stretching, you're not pushing your body. You're just making sure they're activated. You do those 10-minute warm-ups. On the spot, you jog, you warm up your body, you're activating your muscles. That's the difference. That's a big difference between that. Self-massage. This is something that I always do every day after my workouts. I spend at least 10-15 minutes before I go to bed. Take oil, okay. I have different oils that I use and I massage my legs. Okay, take care of your body. I just use my hand. Just massage for 10-15 minutes, make sure it's relaxed and you get proper sleep. So I do a lot of self-massage. Once in a month you can do your regular massage that you want to do. I've got some new knee workouts that also has YouTube. I've put in the PPT 2 slides or 2 YouTube links. So please go through that. Definitely that will help you. What's the time? Am I going? Okay, good. Okay, next slide. Yoga. This is something which I really love. If you want to prepare yourself physically and mentally, yoga is the most important thing. And this is not defining in any training book that I read. This is something that I have identified. There are 7 chakras in your body, or what we call as energy wheels. It's called the energy wheels. There are 7 energy wheels in our body, and those energy wheels have specific roles. If you are able to activate them, you can get the most out of it. If you see here, there are 7. So one is Muladhara chakra. I'm just going to explain what is Muladhara chakra specifically. So that gives you strength. You heard about Ashwini. You know what's Ashwini? Ashwini is a horse. Horse, when it is running, when it's about to run, you know what it does? It tightens its butt. It gets its energy from that. That's called an Ashwini Mudra in yoga. Okay? You might have heard of Ashwini Mudra. So that's Muladhara chakra. That gives you the strength and energy of a horse. That's one thing that you should always practice. The second one is Swadhisthana chakra. that's on your navel. Okay? That is about love, passion, sexuality. That's your Swadhisthana chakra. The third one is Manipurna chakra, just above your navel and just below your chest. That is something that we call willpower. You generate willpower, concentration, the power to do it. Yes, I can do it. I want to do it. I am going to do it. All that energy, that chakra is your Manipurna chakra. That's just here. The one is called the heart chakra or the Anahata chakra is your heart. That's love, forgiveness, compassion. Okay, that's your heart chakra. One is Vishuddha chakra, that's your throat chakra, that's also called throat chakra. That's about your communication, being able to convince somebody. That's the chakra that is there. The other one, the most important one is your Agnya chakra, that's right in the middle of your forehead. Okay, and that is the most important, that activates all the other chakras also. That's about creativity, innovation. Okay, how do you get innovation and creativity is if you do that Anahata chakra, Agnya chakra, that's very good. The last one is the Sahasrara chakra. Follow these chakras, this is very important. The next one, plyometrics. So I also do plyometrics at least twice or thrice a week. Okay, so I've written down a few plyometry exercises over here that help you. Plyometrics is nothing but called as jump exercises. Okay, they are random. When you jump, when you do anything like box jump or you do kangaroo jumps and all that stuff, they actually help your muscles be stronger and faster. So plyometrics is one thing that you go and do it. So I'm coming to a close and I can see people yawning here. Okay, sorry for that. It's afternoon after chicken biryani, right? Yeah, I think we should all do a dynamic stretch and stand up and jump. Okay, so the next slide, like I always said, your body is a biomechanical machine and nutrition is its fuel. If you don't feed your body, it's not going to perform. Okay? Food, again, very simple. Don't go for high gluten and alkaline and acidic foods and all that stuff. I've read many books on that. I've read many things on that. They are American. Okay? Whatever is American is not always good or true. Okay? Leave that aside. Food is divided into two main simple parts: macronutrients and micronutrients. Okay? Macronutrients is proteins, fats, carbohydrates. Micronutrients is your vitamins and minerals. And of course you require water because 70% of our body of blood is water, right? So make sure when you eat food, you are making sure you're having this. Okay. Now this chart, prepare this chart, it took me 2 hours. I had to make sure every block I had done it. When I gave the first cut to Peter, you must have seen that was a hazy little one. I tried taken a picture and I didn't like it, so I said no, I have to do a better job of it. So it took me 2 hours to make this slide, and this is the most important slide, and I love this slide because I took a lot of time to make this. Okay, there's a lot of love and passion in this slide. Okay, so it tells you exactly what you need to do after the workout, what you eat for lunch, what you should be eating for dinner, what you should be eating when you are doing a midday workout, afternoon workout, everything is there. So when you do a pre-workout, what you need to have, when you do a workout, you need to have a sport drink according to your thirst. When you have a breakfast, make sure you have high carb, moderate protein, low fat, So, and I'll tell you, I have another slide which tells you very easily. It's called as diet quality score as to how do you make sure that you are having the right amounts of energy or source. Next slide. This is a slide which I brought up because this is one of the products that I am using currently. I started using it 4 months back, and I think Sanjeev Ramki is also using it, I don't know. But it has definitely changed the way I train. It's definitely made me very good because I don't have to worry about 3:1:4. 3 proteins, 1 fat, and 4 carbohydrates. I don't have to worry about this. It's very India specific, which means it's made in India and it's veg. So I always prefer to use this product. I used to use Tara Nutricare before, and it's okay. But I think this is something which is very good. It's got the next slide. What to do when you're doing a before a workout, what you need to have. It's got the post, or it's got a during, which tells you what you need to have. It comes in sachets, which you can definitely use when you're on the run or whatever, and use this. And it's got a post. So I highly recommend go to that site and see what it has to offer you. Try those samples out. It's definitely good. Now this is the one that I wanted to concentrate more on. It's called the diet quality score. Now everything is divided into two parts. Again here, high quality, low quality. Okay, no rocket science in this. Very simple. What is high quality food? Fruits, vegetables, lean meats, nuts, seeds, whole grains, dairy. Very simple. Clear? What's low quality? Your refined grains, your what do you call that? Mysore pak, Krishna sweets. My wife told me to get that when I'm in Chennai. Fried foods. Okay. Your chips, hot chips, finger chips, fatty proteins. Okay. So in India we have a lot of all these sweets and fried foods and all that stuff. But we also have good food. Remember that. I tell you, India has got the richest source of nutrition which no country has. I always worked out with foreigners, right from Richard McDowell to Heinz and everybody, and they're amazed. You know, the amount of nutrition or the amount of stuff that's there in India, no country has. We've got mangoes in the right season. People crave for mangoes. We've got so much of nutrition in India. I was reading a book on Phil Maffetone. You know who's Phil Maffetone? The guy who's talked about maximum aerobic function. Organic farming was started in India. Okay, so people have learned from India and they have eroded India after that. So we have a lot of knowledge. Okay, so we have very well, like Arun said, been able to really screw things up in a way that point of no return. So let's get things back to normal. So idli sambar is very good. Okay, so don't say that you have to have your cereal or bread, or bread is the worst food you can have. Okay, throw away the bread from your body, from your house. Go for rotis. Chapatis are good. Whoever says chapati is not good is a fool. It contains gluten. Come on, how many people in the world have got gluten problems? Okay, you're not going to eat chapati during a race, right? It's okay if you go gluten, non-gluten when you're doing a race, but when you're, I eat chapati every day. Okay, I eat rice every day. Okay, so our food is not bad. Don't eat the West. Okay, the West has their own set of problems. Okay, they're all into doping and other stuff. Lance Armstrong won 7 times only on dope. So don't do any doping. Okay, I don't use painkillers. I've always seen, I've gone to Bangalore Ultra, I've seen many people, they use painkillers. Very harmful. If your body is not able to sustain, don't do it. I don't take a single painkiller, even before the run, even after the run. Because I want to do a longer run, I want to be sustaining, I want to go for 100 years, I want to run for 100 years. At 100 I want to do 100. Okay. No, my age, you have to aim always high. Whether you reach it or not, it's another thing. Okay. So for that, never use painkillers. 2 days after the Bangalore Marathon, I'm not able to walk. I'm literally limping. But I will not use a painkiller. I don't use medicines. No allopathic medicines. Okay. If I'm at pain, I'm at pain. I use turmeric milk. Okay. I use tulsi ginger tea. I use everything that's herbal or whatever is possible, but I don't take medicines at all, and I encourage my children never to take medicines. In the cold, even if it's extremely cold, I have a bath in cold water. Okay? So your body should be able to adapt to these conditions. Medicines kill you. every time you go to a doctor, he'll prescribe an antibiotic to you, which is very bad. If you're falling ill too often, means your body immunity is very low. That's why I was surprised when he told me you got low hemoglobin level. So okay. My whole family is ill and they're having flu, whatever, but I have not fallen. By the grace of God, I have not fallen ill for the last 5-6 years. I've now been to a doctor. Okay, if I've fallen ill, I've only taken turmeric milk, I've taken proper rest, I've gone through that pain, but I made sure my body immediately is strong. It's able to take that. I take 4 days to recover, but I make sure I do that. So if you see my workouts, whoever is gammon with me, you never see a break that I'm fallen ill, injured or anything. That's because I follow simple rules. Okay, so make sure you follow the simple rules. No. So give points to this. And whatever you eat, just put a -2. Suppose today you had chicken biryani or you had the Mysore Pak, so make sure you put a -2. Okay? And at the end of the day you calculate what is your score. If your score is going in minus, definitely means you need to change something. Okay? You make sure you do. So this is a very simple table that tells you about a breakfast, about a snack. Just whatever you eat, just add plus or minus. You get to know. And the more you eat, the first serve, second serve, third serve, sixth serve, you just keep on minusing it. Okay? So if you start your day with the refined grains or sweets, -2 already starts there. Okay? And by the fourth or sixth serve, it's already -10 or 12. Okay? So your whole day is gone for a toss. So, pardon, sir? A very good point. Scrubbing is maybe a small bowl, I would say, not more than that.
Okay. Is mayonnaise an exempt from this? Mayonnaise.
Oh. It's Western, right?
Minus mayonnaise, so plus.
So, anything Western like butter, mayonnaise. Sorry, Peter, I don't want to offend you for that. Peter is looking at me. Why did I call him? No, I prefer pure ghee. Ghee is better. Okay, desi ghee is better than butter. Okay, if you ghee melts, butter doesn't. If you burn it, it does not burn, right? Okay, so that's a big difference. I always have ghee instead of butter. I don't have butter. Neither do I tell my kids to have butter. Instead of butter, you can have avocado. They are also good. Go as natural as possible. So make sure you have this diet quality score every time with you. This is one important thing that I wanted to talk about and it's skipped my mind. Okay, if I remember, I'll definitely tell it. Okay, if you go to my second slide. It's all flashback, right? Coming back. Going in the reverse order.
How to detox? You were telling about detox.
Detox. You want to know about detox? Okay. The next one. Yes. Yeah. Stop. Okay. So detox what I do is after every event that I do. Okay. Now my next event is April 20th. That's the Boston Marathon. After that, I'll go out with my friends, have a beer. Okay. I'm going to have a party for 1 week. Okay. I'm not going to drink for 1 week. I'm going to drink 1 day. So I don't want to set a bad example. But after that, I'm going to do a 7-day detox, which means that I'm going to go on a fruit diet. Okay. I'm going to go on a non-grain diet, and slowly, the third or fourth day, I'm going to have brown bread. So brown rice, and slowly increase my diet. Yeah, back to normal. So what happens is I'm going to have something called as turmeric tea. It's not of so turmeric tea. Also, what I do is you have fresh turmeric. It looks like ginger. Yeah. So you make tea out of it, which means you take fresh ginger, you put coconut milk in it. Okay. You put in a drop of cinnamon and honey. It tastes superb. Believe me. It's awesome taste. When I gave it to my wife, she said she'll never drink it. This is poison. Don't try to do things which you want me to do. I'm not in for it. You do your detox, you're crazy. But when she drank, she really liked it. And then she started making it for herself more. So it tastes really good. Believe me, I loved it. So turmeric tea is very good. And in turmeric tea, the thing is that it detoxes your liver and kidneys. So it's very good. I think most of it is there in the people. If it is not there, I'll email it to you. I have a 7-day detox plan. So please follow that. Make sure that after every event that you do, you follow that. You clean your body, okay, physically, mentally. Okay, make sure you're back in power. Live 300 years. Okay, we all will run a marathon after 100 years. Let's believe in that.
Sunil, I have a question for chakra activation.
Yes.
Do you suggest self-chakra because I was informed that...
Exactly, I agree with you. You know, I'm lucky that I have a Guruji whom I follow. Okay, he comes to our house 6:30 to 7:30. I do every day. I sit with him. He teaches me. So obviously, what she said is a very valid point. Find a knowledgeable person, okay, who knows about, who's a professional yoga teacher, who can teach you, who knows the meanings, okay, who can tell you whether you're doing it the right way or the wrong way. Okay, I can provide you with the YouTube links. Thanks for clarifying that point. You know, I really appreciate that. But make sure you have a yoga teacher, or make sure CTC organizes somebody who's a yoga professional.
I can give you one insight right away. No, now if what you're seeking is inner peace like Po from Kung Fu Panda, there are a million methods, and as far as the chakras go, there are not 7 chakras, there are 112 chakras. If you want to go in detail, there are places where you can learn them in just a weekend. For example, pranic healing is one. You go to any of the spiritual people, they teach you, but the point is where you get the right knowledge. Pranic healing is a place where you can heal yourself of cold, headaches, whatever pain you want. So you're your own doctor, you don't need a medical bill. So you guys are welcome to check it out in order to learn more. Good that you have a guru, but there are people who are ready to teach within a weekend.
Yeah, good point. Actually, if you see the chakras, I talked to you about chakras that's above your body, right? So obviously there are chakras below your body also, and they are all the bad things. So people who are bad, the concentration of the other chakras are very high and prominent. That's why you find murderers, you find people who kill, rape, everything. They have, the bad chakras are more prominent in them than the good chakras. So yes, very valid point. And I only know about 14. So I didn't put the other 14 because I don't want you all to be bad and practicing the bad chakras. Okay. If you see here, I put here 3 P's. Okay, patience, perseverance, and planning. And I didn't put a slide on that because I wanted to talk about that. You need to have a lot of patience. Today, if we see, we are leading a very stressful life. Everything we do are very stressed. You are worried about, I was speaking to my wife yesterday, and we are buying a house. And she's, in my conversation with her for the last 4 or 5 hours, she's only talking about, we have to go this, do this, you have to pay the school bills, I don't know how we do this. I said, wait, relax. Everything will fall in place. Okay? Don't take stress. Stress is your biggest enemy. Okay? Stress causes all these heart attacks, everything and all that. Okay? Take it easy. Okay? Life is meant to be enjoyed. Enjoy it. Enjoy the journey of life. There will be ups and downs. There will be financial situations. There will be situations where you can't cope with things. I've gone through a lot of stress, but I've now learned that taking stress is of no point because there's no solution to it. There's a professor that was saying, hold a glass for half an hour, 1 hour. What happens is your hand starts spinning and the glass has half glass of water in it. It's because that's keep on thinking about the same thing again and again and again and again and again. Oh, how am I going to do this? Oh, this is not happening. Oh, my girlfriend has left me. Oh, what to do? I'm going to kill myself. Nothing's going to work out. It's only going to affect you physically and mentally. So don't take stress. I always bike to work. Okay, and always I find people coming in the opposite direction, rickshaws trying to crisscross me, cars honking at me, asking me, hey, get lost, get out of the way, why are you coming here and all that stuff. I used to get angry. Now I don't get angry because I am at peace with myself. I've said to myself that I am not an athlete. I don't call myself an athlete now anymore. I call myself as a yogi. Okay, I am in the spiritual journey. Okay, forget all these tensions and pressures and people shouting at you, making you mad. Just go on your way. So I used to also react. You know, somebody used to just touch your back cycle. I used to go angry at them and say a few cuss words and all that stuff. And I realized that it's not working out. Let him do his own way, let him crisscross, let him honk at me, let the person come in the opposite direction. Don't get angry, frustrated. Just do your work. So patience is very important. Second thing is perseverance. Okay, you failed once does not mean you cannot try it next time. I failed every time the first attempt I have done. The first marathon I have never completed. I quit after 30 kilometers. The first Ironman I couldn't complete it. And that's why I'm thankful to CTC. Because when I had not completed Zurich, I was totally down. I said, God. And then I got a mail from Peter that Chennai triathlon is happening, and I said, wow, this is the time that I need to test, get my confidence back. And that's when I came to Chennai to do the Chennai triathlon. And I did it, and that was a turning point for me. That gave me a lot of confidence. So I will be ever grateful to Chennai. I love Chennai. I love the Chennai people. I love the warmth that you genuinely have. It's so genuine and it's so truthful. I love you all guys, and I love everything that you all do. I'm so proud to be here, and so proud to be amongst you all. So perseverance is very important. Make sure you do persevere everything you do. Planning. Don't do anything without a plan. Make sure you plan yourself properly. Make sure you do it thoughtfully and process it. And last one, be obsessed. If people don't call you crazy, it means you're not doing the right way. The day people say, "Are ye pagal ho gaya hai? This guy has gone mad," means you're doing the right thing. Okay? I'll tell you how many people must have told Arun is mad. Because he's obsessed with some things, but he's doing the right thing, right? Arey yaar, ye pagal aa gaya wo. Environment, but that's the passion. So be crazy. People, we want crazy people. We want to go to that level of craziness where people say, "Arey, ye to pagal hai." Because when people say ye pagal hai, that means you are away. You identify yourself away from that person or from that group. You are the pagal. You are the man who's mad. So be the mad guy. Be obsessed. Okay, that will lead you to success. Right? With that, I think I've come to the end of it. Sure.
You said you are a vegan. Pardon me, you are a vegan.
No, I'm not a vegan. I eat anything that calls.
Do you drink milk?
Yes.
No, I want to know something unmade for milk. You said coconut milk.
Coconut, yes, coconut milk, almond milk. I asked my wife to make almond milk for me. After 2 days, she says, "Boss, it's not viable. I spent 2,000 rupees for 1 liter. The cow is better." So, if you have the money, you can go for almond milk. It's very good. I remember my wife. I told my wife I need 2 eggs every day. She calculated it, and I said it's 4. Then she calculated it. She said, "Sunil, 2,500 rupees a month. You want our kids to stay hungry?" So I said, "Okay, thank you." Yeah.
Recovering from an illness. Can you talk about it?
Recovery from
An illness.
Pain.
illness. Okay, whenever
You fall sick, you have a way to come out of it because you fall sick and you're out for a week and then your form's completely off.
Actually a week. I mean, I don't know if you're ill for a week, that means there's something wrong.
Let's say viral fever.
Viral fever 4 days, 5 days is good enough. I would say. What I do basically, like I said, I never go for any allopathic medicine. medicines, no antibiotics. I go for turmeric milk, everything. I do gargling, whatever it takes for me to do. I have ginger coffee, everything that is natural. I go for that. That, believe me, 4 days you become perfectly fine. Your body is capable enough to fight the system. Okay, don't make it weak by having medicines. Okay, believe me, that works very well. It's worked for me for the last 6-7 years. There's not a single day I've missed a workout because of illness. Believe me, it's amazing. Okay, so go for all the natural stuff. Take rest.
If you are doing aerobic other muscle activities like running, swimming, other things, is it necessary for us to go for gym?
Is very important. Because what happens is, when you run, cycle, swim, you're only training a specific muscle of your body. When you go to the gym, you are working on the hip flexors, the other stuff. You need to make sure you go to the gym because you need to work on the other muscles. The other muscles surrounding your body, if it is weak, that's where injury happens. So you have to work out on overall. So I work on my upper body also. I do chest and I do this because I want to make sure that I'm fit from top to bottom, not just from my legs, because whole body counts, so whole workouts counts.
In that case, which one you will prefer it in the morning session?
So morning I always do go for aerobic and endurance training. Evenings I do yoga and gym workouts. Okay. And I work part-time and I work full-time, but my manager says you work part-time and full-time you're only running. This is getting recorded, right?
Talking about the balance of aerobic and anaerobic workouts. Being an endurance athlete, naturally our slow twitch muscles are more developed because we do a marathon, we don't do sprints. We do more of marathon, so generally our slow twitch muscles are more developed. So in that case, when we want to work on our fast twitch muscles also, should we do more of anaerobic training compared to the amount of aerobic we do, or should we be equally balanced? Like 3 days of aerobic, 3 days of anaerobic, or 2 and 4, or 4 and 2? What's the ratio?
Good question. So I would say 5 days of aerobic and 3 days of anaerobic. 3 days you should go for high intensity workouts. Okay, your high intensity workouts need not have a larger duration. Make sure that there's
45 minutes.
Pardon me? 1 hour, yeah, 45 minutes is very good enough for your high intensity workouts. 3 days a week is good.
How is your family surviving with all this?
It's a very good question, and that's one thing I always respect, and I always tell, what women do or what women have achieved is nothing compared to what I have achieved. Women are the greatest sacrificers, okay? Right? My wife, she's sacrificed so much. Without her, I'm zero. Believe me, I'm nothing. She takes care of everything, right from children's study to making sure that my income tax is filed, to going and buying vegetables, to taking my friends out. Okay, my friends, not her friends. My friends come to Hyderabad. I'm going out for cycling. She takes them out to Charminar and other places and all that stuff. So amazing. I would say I'm lucky. I've got God with me. If I'm able to touch her feet every day, I'm blessed. Without her, I'm zero. I'm nothing. Practically, and that's why I have great respect for women, because they are, or whatever women have achieved, even endurance, there are so many women athletes over here, right? It's not easy. It's not easy for a woman to achieve this. They go through so much of trauma, physical and mental. Believe me, we don't have periods. Okay? The only periods we know of is when we were in school. Right? Seriously, it's a very serious thing. But women, they are something exceptional. What we have achieved, what I have achieved, I think is minuscule to what women here are achieving. Okay? So hats off. That's the main reason I put a woman's photo there. Seriously, it was on purpose. I put a woman's photo there because I didn't want it to be shown as a man event. this is not something for man or woman. Okay, women are equally capable of doing it. Women ran faster in the Ironman World Championship, right?
Endurance, your cross training, your yoga, everything. So, I mean, all this, how often do you rest? Let's go about rest. I mean, I hear that one day you have to be totally not doing anything.
Yes, so there's nothing that you should not do totally anything. There's something called as active recovery. Okay, so active recovery, so normal people or normal training plan is 5 days or 6 days. Yeah, 6 days workout and 1 day rest. Usually what I follow is 9-day workouts and 1 day rest. Okay, so I follow a 9-day span where I train hard for 9 days and then 1 day I take rest. Usually it's 6 days and 1 day rest. So based on how your body is responding. The other good point that you followed is that I never compromise on my sleep. Okay, so make sure I sleep by 9:30. I've got a very good team with me in Microsoft who's very understanding. I don't know, I'm lucky. I don't know, I'm at the right place with the right people, you know. My team is so supportive and cooperative, you know. They make sure that my meetings are before 9:30 because they know Sunil goes to sleep by 9:30. So, yes. So I sleep by 9:30, I get up by 5. I make sure that I have proper 7 hours sleep, you know. That helps me in my recovery. Also, I go on a high protein, have a high protein, low carb diet on night. Don't have lot of carbs, okay. Your post recovery drink is also very important, make sure you have that. So immediately, the moment your workout is over, your recovery starts from that point of time. So you should have a proper post recovery drink. You should make sure that the night is the lightest meal that you have and that has a high concentration of protein. Maybe a piece of chicken or eggs or whatever with something and then you can sleep. Your low carbs, that will help you in faster recovery.
One final question.
He's been raising his hand, sorry. Kneecaps. I've never used kneecaps, so if it helps you. But I would say you go for the knee workouts that I mentioned here. See if it works for you. It's worked for whomever I've given. It's very good, useful. You won't require kneecaps.
A major demographic of people who want to come into running are people who are overweight for the sake of exercise. But they can't dive directly into running because their knees might get affected. So, I mean, you spoke about patience and perseverance. How do they have to channelize it?
So, you always make small goals. You know, I always told, you know, my wife, if I want my wife to do a 21k run, I'll not tell her to do it the next day, right? So, start small. Start with smaller steps. Once you're registering for an event is very important. Once you're committed to it, it's very important. The next thing, what I always do, is to tell the whole world about it.
Exactly.
I told that I want to do a sub 3 in Boston. Okay. Now I very well make sure that I train for it. Okay. So once you commit to yourself and the world, you are making the world responsible for your commitment in turn. Okay. So don't be shy for telling it out. So tell the world, you know. Suppose there's a fat guy who wants to run a marathon. And tell him to announce on Facebook, I registered for Chennai Trail, I'm going to do this 21k. May see next day he'll be committed to make sure that he does that.
Facebook is there for a purpose.
Yes. Use it. Don't abuse it. I think it's done. Thanks a lot for this.
I request Ravindran Padmanabhan Radhi to please do the honors. Small local business.
Did I see you cycling in the morning?
Yeah.
Sorry. Guys, any help you require, just reach out to me. Okay?